Hey guys, today we're working on a GY6 150cc head that has overheated and the exhaust valve is leaking compression, so we're going to be relapping it today to try to fix that. We got a 9/16 socket here. It fits the perfect diameter of the valve spring. Here I'm using a piece of paper towel to stuff in the socket. That way whenever I go to decompress the spring, the keepers don't come flying out and lose them. So you'll see that in just a moment. Here I'm using a water bottle lid to place underneath the head. That's going to be to stop the valves from moving whenever I go to decompress the valve springs. I advise using something like a water bottle lid because if you use something hard, you're likely to damage your valves doing this method to remove these valve springs. Just a good tap should bring it off. You don't have to hit it hard because you definitely don't want to damage your valve or any of your springs or your keepers. Here's the valve after I got it out. It's got some carbon buildup on it, but we'll clean that up and get it looking good. And that way when we get ready to start lapping it, we'll have a good surface to start with. It doesn't look too bad though, so I think we'll be alright with that. Okay guys, so here I'm going to go ahead and take out the intake valve. This one's actually not leaking. It was okay. It was just the exhaust side, which I'm going to show you later in the video after I get it done, how I test these valves to make sure that they did seal properly. So here, just a good strike with the hammer to the socket and it comes loose. Very simple, very easy. Here I'm using a brass brush attachment for my Dremel. I'm going to be using that to clean up the head. It's soft enough, it's not going to hurt anything. So you'll see I'm spraying alcohol right here. It helps break up the carbon. It's not necessary to clean up around where I'm cleaning right now. I'm just doing that because I like to have a clean surface to work with and have everything looking good. Like I said, it's not important to clean right where I'm at right now. But that's up to you. I just like to clean everything up and have it looking good whenever I finish up. Take some alcohol spray, wipe it down, clean it up. So here's where you want to focus your attention. You want to clean these seats up really well. I am going to clean around these seats really well though, just in case if there is any kind of carbon buildup on them. I'll get that cleaned off before I start the lapping process. But as you can see, alcohol and this little brass brush works really well in order to clean it up. This is going to be the last pass that I go over and finish up the touch-ups on it. That way they're ready to start lapping in. But as you can see, everything's coming out really nicely. They're shiny as can be. Okay guys, so here we have the valve ready to clean and prep. I'm using alcohol to spray it down like I've been using throughout the video. It does a very good job, like I said, at cleaning off the carbon. And then I'm using the brass wire wheel brush attachment that goes on my drill. Works very well at cleaning off the carbon, getting the valve cleaned up so it's ready to start lapping in. You want to make sure to put some kind of penetrating oil on your valve stem. That way, so whenever we go to start to put the valve inside the actual stem and start lapping, it's not dry. You definitely don't want it to be dry at all. But it will make it a lot easier for the actual lapping process. So you'll see me here. I'm going to push the valve in and back and forth just a few times there just to make sure that everything's working smoothly before I actually start to lap the valve. And as you can see, it is moving back and forth perfectly, and that is what you'd want to see, you know, as testing it to make sure everything is working fine, so there's no drag. So here what we're going to do is we're going to put some of this valve grinding compound on, and you don't need a lot of this, you just need enough to get it all the way around the face of the valve. Okay, so here is my valve lapping tool. It works very well for what I do with it. Um, you know, you can use, there's bigger ones than this one, but this is the appropriate size. This is a smaller one that you would use for these smaller jobs. But it does do a great job for what it does. But you can also do the method that I use it later in the video. I made an adapter for using my drill to be compatible. It's a very nice little tool. It's faster. It works a lot quicker. But it's up to you on how that you would prefer to do this job. I've done both, and they both work very well, so no big deal. I recommend either one, whichever one you prefer. And again, make sure that you do keep the valve stem lubricated, because if you do let it get dry, you know, more than likely you could cause premature wear on the valve stem or the valve guide for the valve stem, when you go for your initial startup. So make sure to keep everything lubed up so there's no issue. And before you put these stems back in completely, make sure to lube them up as well, one good time. That way that like I said, there's no premature wear on startup, because you definitely don't want to have any issues and cause them stems to start leaking. Here's the final step that we're going to do. We're going to test the valves and make sure that they don't leak. I'm using alcohol because it's thin enough. If there is any leakage, it will leak through. And as you can see, with me zooming in, these valves sealed up nicely. If you find this video helpful, please give it a like. And if you have any questions, comment below. I will do my best to answer you. Thank you so much for watching.